So the video that I was going to make right after my coaching sessions today, because I had a good session with a TV writer that I represent, or not represent, we do coaching together. And the topic was persistence. And it's funny because this is now the third time I've tried to make this persistence video, and the first time I didn't hit record. The second time I had the mic on mute. And so by the third time, I'm done here. It's like, I guess the persistence video doesn't need to happen today. Because I'm annoyed, and then, well, let's just do it. Persist, even when it feels like, ugh. So persistence, what we were talking about today was in hitting people up for a job, or to get yourself a job, or to sell something, or if you are trying to, in his case, be represented and sell a script. And the main thing we were talking about, he said, how persistent should I be? And I said, I don't think it's about how persistent, it's just be persistent. Meaning do something more than once and you will sort of see where you need to go with that. But you have to be brave to get anywhere with anything, and to be persistent is to be brave, because it feels weird to keep hitting someone up or to keep pounding the pavement on it. You have to keep hitting people up, and you have to be succinct with how you're doing it. You are hitting up really busy people typically if you're trying to get a job or you're trying to put something of yours forward. When you are hitting busy people, they read about 2 lines of an email, and if it's not grabbing them, or they don't feel like they have to be reading it based on you're so compelling or you're someone that they know someone, they're going to stop and they will likely delete it, or they think they'll come back to it and they never do, because most people are just trying to keep above the waterline with their work level. If they're busy and important, then they are just that, and they're not going to keep reading long emails where you've dumped a whole bunch of stuff that they're supposed to intake on you. So I really recommend that people be succinct with what it is you are trying to put forward. What's your vision? What's the vision for the project? If you're putting a project to someone, put a little of your worldview in there. Add some humor, like show them what kind of person you are. I think straight talking is super good. Meaning, I think you are the best at this. I love the work you did on blank. I think I have real value. If you don't show confidence, why would they have confidence in you? So it's super important to convey confidence. Talk to them like real people. The person on the other end of that email is a human being. If you put some of your personality into it and some humor, you will resonate. You will kind of rise above. I gave an example of someone who DM'd me on Instagram, which I don't really look at those a whole lot, and he wrote me what he wanted to say about what he does and wanted my help and me to look at some of his stuff, and I never saw it. And I saw, when I was looking for someone else in my DMs, I came across his DM, and I saw that he had DM'd me 5-6 times over the course of months, and I never responded because I just didn't know. And I looked at his stuff. We ended up having a phone conversation. He ended up sharing, what he does. And since then, I have connected him with multiple people that could help him in projects that could really bring him work, money, set the whole thing moving. And the point of the story is obvious. If he had DM'd me and I didn't respond and that was it, and he never DM'd me again, then this wouldn't be happening. I started my career, a man named Shanahan, who owns the Metro in Chicago, my entertainment career that I've had. My business is almost 25 years old. And this man, I was almost like a telemarketer with how much I was calling to try to get a meeting with him, because he was one of the only people in Chicago in music where I could get a career going. And I just kept at it. And I say telemarketer, but I think I was like trying to be cool and have some grace. So I was not coming off like a complete pestering, badgering idiot, but I kept at it and I got the meeting. And then even when I got the meeting, he's like, you seem great. I don't have a job. Okay, well, what if I come here for free a certain amount of days and just let's see what happens. I wasn't out of college. I was in my late 20s, but I needed that opening. And he gave it to me. I did good work there. Next thing you know, I had a real position. And the rest is history. And now, I have this great thing that I'm very proud of, and, a company that's, been really successful. And it would not have happened if I weren't persistent. So many people who are in my world, including my business partner, she was persistent about getting in there because I just simply wasn't noticing because I was busy. So ask anyone who's successful, and you will never hear a story that they weren't persistent. If it was either nepotism or they kind of slid in there. You know, some people are lucky like that. Good for them. That's awesome. But you have to be persistent. Show your confidence. Know how to talk about yourself and what you want to talk about in a pretty succinct way and in an interesting way. And just always use your authentic voice and talk like a real person, and don't be like sending resume kind of stuff or bullshitty emails, because they're probably not going to resonate. So be brave. You can do it with grace so that you don't look annoying. But you do have to be persistent. So keep asking for what you want. Thanks.